Welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still watching Cairo Local Time. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about 7 years of achievements and success since President Fattah al-Sisi has assumed power. And to shed more light on these achievements, we are joined today by Dr. Ahmed Salah Rifky, founder of Social System Engineering. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, sir, if we talk about 7 years of achievements, actually we have so many achievements in all domains. Let's begin with stability, security in Egypt, and the ability of the government to combat terrorism and achieve this stability in the country.
Yes, of course. In order to understand or to evaluate or to see the achievement, let's see where we were 7 years ago, the situation, and what's about today. And usually when we are measuring any system, this is a system, there is some input and there is output. So usually when the output are more than the input, so this system is good. And when there is the output is less than the input, this means the efficiency is not good.
Yes.
So the regime or the new system, when it's starting to 2014, when they start to evaluate and to measure and to know all the problem, we found that the system itself is not integrated. Let's say that each ministry or each department is they're only having their own machine, but they're not integrated in the whole system. The President Sisi, when he get into into power, he first things he has some priorities. The first priority is to maintain the stability.
Yes.
And there are four levels. The first thing is the political achievement or the political file. We find that it has stability. There was a lot of objection, a lot of people waiting in the street, and everything, a lot of problems. And this is the first things that we stabilize the political things. And later on, we enter in the second phase, which is the economical regime, in enhancing the economic regime and removing all the things that was slowing down the economic growth and everything. And finally, it was starting into the social aspects. And the social aspects, it was the core, because if we remember the revolution which is happening both at 2011 and 2000, it was all about the people are not happy socially wise. So in order to fix the social aspect of the social system, you need previously to fix the economical system, and in order to fix the economical system, you need to fix the political system. And in order to fix the political system, you need to protect and to secure all the resources that you have. And this is what that was the question about. It's about the terrorism in 2014.
It's all related together.
It's all related, but it's step by step. So we need to first eliminate the terrorism and to maintain the stability and to secure our systems, and then we move on the political stability, and then we move to the economical reform, and then we move to the social aspect, which are the most important things for the people.
Yes. Also, since President Fattah al-Sisi assumed office on June 8, 2014, the Egyptian foreign policy also succeeded in achieving a new start on various pivots, and Egypt regained its relations with the African countries. Actually, we assumed the presidency of the African Union. So how do you see successes on the level of foreign policy?
It's on the foreign, of course. It was a lot of challenge, because when he get in power in the office, it was a lot of disturbance in the street, a lot of international forces. It was on the ground, a lot of brotherhoods, and a lot of things are not.
The whole region was unstable,
and there was always using the social media and promoting rumors and all those things. And the main problem, it was the sense of trust. They succeed, they disconnect the trust between the people and between their government at that time. So I assume that President Sisi is the first thing that he promised, that whatever he's saying, it's trust. So this is starting to build again the trust between the people and the government, and this was the key of the success, because now the people was patient enough regarding the economical reforms and all those things, because they have trust in their government, and the government is not only talking like previously. No, there is on the ground, there is things are doing on the ground. So we are talking today, and while we are talking, there is 31,000 projects are performing in parallel with 5.8 billion trillions Egyptian pounds. So this a huge number of project and in huge number of budget and everything. It's why we are talking peacefully and everything.
You
Everything
are talking about 31,000 projects.
31,000 projects in parallel are performing now in Egypt
Yes.
with a budget of 5.8 trillion Egyptian pounds. And
Yes.
this is a very big amount. It's almost like our GDP. So this is a lot of things, and this everything is calm and
And all
everything
this
working.
is happening during the corona pandemic. So
Yes.
this is a big challenge to Egypt.
It is, and usually all other countries or everything during the economical or during the corona, everything is slowing down.
Yes.
But for us, no, everything
Achieved growth.
Even we are about in few months we are going to inaugurate the new Republic of Egypt, which is with the start of the new capital
Yes.
during the corona and everything, and this is wonderful thing. And when we are talking about the evaluation of the system regarding putting the input and the output, the system or regime, he succeeds very well to increase the inputs, which is the resources, the natural resources that we have in the north of Egypt, the Mediterranean, and also all the resources that we have. So the inputs are increasing.
Yes.
And at the same time, the output are increasing because now I'm talking about this budget. This is almost double the economy of Egypt. So this means that we increased very good our input, and we have a good efficiency of our system of the government. Of course, there is some things, but it's much better than previously.
Yes. So on the economic level, Egypt also has adopted package of economic reforms, and also we are now announcing the second phase of this economic reform program. This program has succeeded in raising growth rates and maximized direct foreign investments to the country. So on the economic level, how do you see Egypt after 7 years?
Yes, actually I was proud to be in
Yes.
part of this because I was responsible regarding the one-stop shop in
Yes.
the Ministry of Investment. The first things it was that to have the map of the investment, and in order to have the map of the investment, we should have the map of our production and had the map of our consumption.
Yes.
And the gap between this would be the map of investment. We start to invite the investor to come to fill the gap instead of importing the thing. And this is the first things. And the laws of 72 of the investment, it was giving a lot of privilege for the investment.
Yes.
But still, because this was the first phase on the macro level, but on the micro level there was still some obstacles that it's meeting that's facing the investors. And I'm believing that the next phase we're going to be working smart with the investor in order to
also we are now currently we are seeing now the digital transformation, and it's also going to facilitate the way for investors.
Yes, of course, because the first things was the investor is seeking is information. In order to make a feasibility study, he needs some information
Yes.
and number and everything. Previously, the number was not there. All the doses was not. So each investor, you need to come and make market research, and then he decide to invest or not to invest. But currently, we start to have everything is moving digital, so we start to have those dynamics digital maps. And each governorate now it has two zones: zone industrial zone and investment zone. And we, the investor, when he meets any one of the one-stop shop, is asking either you prefer a place to invest or you have an interest to invest. So whatever is, it's the one-stop shop is going to guide him. So if you want to in this industry, is going to go to the governorate. They have good benefits. Go to.
So one-stop shop is like a map that guides investors.
It's one source or place that I go as an investor to go to ask and to apply and to get all my papers.
The Ministry of Investment.
Yes, the GAFI now.
The GAF, yes.
Yeah, so it's previously it was this poor investor. Previously it was he has to go to this ministry to get this paper and then go to another ministry to get the license and go to that
Long cycle.
Long
Yeah.
cycle, and for the investor it's a long time and doesn't know how to make his feasibility study. Doesn't know when he's going to start everything. So now it's easier, and he can go and he can establish his company in one day and get the license within 1 month and everything, and even based on the law he can take privilege and to take a land to invest. All those things is good for the big investors, and for the small investors they need to remove some obstacles. For example, to take loans from the banks, to start their businesses, to have incubators for the small businesses, enterprises. All those things, I think this will be in the second phase, and it will boost, because this second phase is like China. China is starting by the SMEs.
So also one of the achievements is Tahya Misr Fund, and it was established to implement development projects aimed at making radical solutions to social issues and phenomena that affect lives of large cohorts of Egyptians, as treatment of virus C and virus C patients. So how do you see this initiative as a solution to many of our problems?
Sure. If we are talking about the sustainability and the developing, we have three pillars that they should be together: the government and the private sector and the NGOs. So the idea that the government usually cannot work alone; it needs both sides. So when it was Tahya Mas, which is NGO, it was helping the government in order to achieve, and of course it was making them this mechanism that the government gives the authority, the private sector gives the donation, and Tahya Mas is finding the real cases that is wanting it. And if we are seeing now really developing, because let's talk about, I was telling you 31,000 projects.
Yes.
But one of the big projects is Haya Karima, or Decent Life.
Decent Life, yes. It is my coming question to you.
So it's
that's okay.
So Decent Life, it's an integration between the government and the private sector and the NGOs. And Tahya Mas is one of the NGOs. And I'm saying that this is going to change the map of Egypt, because this project itself, it's about 515 million
Egyptian.
yes,
in rural areas, of course.
Yes, and it's going to serve 40% of the people, in order not to move to the cities, to stay in the villages and their places to find jobs, decent jobs, and everything.
Supplies them with all their needs.
Yes. So this project, it's like it's integrating the government and the private sector
and the
NGOs. A lot of NGOs are working, but it's all under one umbrella. And this is the good things which I'm telling you. Previously, we are always working in small pieces and disconnected, but now we are all integrated toward one objective, developing our.
This is a new strategy adopted by the president since he took office.
Yes, he's very he has a vision, and he knows how to maximize the inputs and how to increase the efficiency of our system and how to protect the outputs.
So as founder of social system engineering, of course, the development of any country depends on its people, and how can we develop them and improve their skills. And I think this is also taken in consideration these days by the governments. What's your take on this?
From the social system engineering, we are talking that the product of a system, to measure the system, is to see the weakest person in the system. So this is the power of the system. So that means that the product of the system is the citizen, and in order to measure the power of all the system, we get the weaker person in the system, and this is the power of the system. So President Sisi has working in this, developing the personality, the person or the citizen, in a lot of phases. The first thing is the education system. We have a new education system which is using tablets, which is using electronic things, which have a lot of internet and a lot of discovery, and even the curriculum is start to be movies, National Geographic, and a lot of things for the kids to start to love education again. And this is the purpose. And the second thing, it's the health. We find a very good performance of the Minister of Health compared by previously, because previously we didn't, but now we see a lot of things, even in the vaccination, even before managing the corona. I mean, a lot of things compared by other countries, compared by our past, we are doing very good. So again, it's the citizen itself, or he's the product of the system. So the system need to emphasize and empower this person educationally, social, cultural, everything, because this is how we're going to be our ambassador when he go out of the country. So I'm thinking that this is maybe the next step, which is Bina al-Insan, which is building up the human being.
Yes. Also, if we talk about President Fattah Sisi, we can't ignore his efforts to communicate with youth on all levels. He held many conferences the past few years, and he invited also youths from African countries. He was keen to involve them in many of the country's issues and make them part of decision making. So how do you see this move by the president, as it was not adopted by any president before?
Actually, we are a young country, because we are more than 60% of our inhabitants are youth. And like I told in the beginning, that previously we lost the trust
Yes.
with the government, and the government worked very hard,
Yes.
and we stood against the trust, and we trust our government very much. The same things the youth. The youth lost the hope, and previously they was running out of the country to find another job, to go to find another opportunities, education. They don't have any hope to find a job here and everything. So President Sisi, from then, he addressed the youth, and he started, no, you have hope here. And now we are living a dream, because it was from seven
Yes.
years ago. It was for us, it's like the impossible.
Yes.
And this is the art of
You have also the
impossible.
PLP program, Presidential Leadership Program, many programs for
All
youth.
things to give hopes to
Yes.
the youth. And now we see the youth that they start to find there is better hope that here, and especially after the corona, they are still in the country and they're educated, and they listen to him, because the youth now, the most they're getting all their information not from the universities, not from the traditional way, but from the internet. And even the internet speed has increased, and giving you a lot of access for the youth to get new ideas, and new product, and all the thing. And I think that the second phase, which is the economic regime, we are going to empower the youth in order to have their own enterprise, and to have
Yes.
their own incubator, and they have got
Entrepreneurs.
yes.
And young entrepreneurs. Also, the government is paying great attention to young entrepreneurs and those who are interested in making their own projects and startup. And this is also a new way of addressing unemployment in Egypt.
Yes, and also regarding the hope that recently the last good project from our president is that the idea of that any Egyptian who wants an apartment, he can get an apartment up to
The mortgage.
the mortgage, yes,
Yes.
for it's we are talking about 1.4 million Egyptian pound to get an apartment, and he can install it for 20 years, 30 years. This is also give hopes for the youth that they can marry and can stay in the country and all those things, as they start to love the country again, and how the country are. And
Yes.
this is normal with 3% mortgage or interest. It's start
Yes.
to make the youth want to stay here and to build a good life here.
Yes. Also, one of the big achievements by the government under the leadership of President Fattah Sisi is solving the problem of slums or informal settlements, and how they were a threat to the country, and now they are moving to good cities and new places for them, giving them new hope, new life. So to what extent this will impact the social life in Egypt, and also will impact the development in general?
This is purely social system engineering.
Yes.
Because this is the when I was talking about this, it was the map of problems, and the people were saying that we have a lot of problems, we have a lot of poor areas, we have a lot of slum areas, and all this are bad. But for me, I was saying, no, this is not good. This is good. We have a lot of
Yes.
problems. We can convert this problem into opportunities of investments. For example, we are talking these slum areas. We can make it an investment for someone who come and invest on all this. And with this money, we build new houses, and for the people to go to have more decent life, a good apartment with furniture, with all facilities, clubs and pools and all those things. And this is working very well. So all the problems, which was still on the map, we only converted into opportunities, investment opportunities. And we are seeing that a lot of cities and the people are very happy, and better environment, because they are living in slum areas. Now they're living in apartment with internet,
Yes.
with electricity, with gas, with parks, with all of those things. So all this, again, it will enhance the personality of this individual, which is going to enhance the product of our system, which I'm telling you, the measure of all our system is based on the weakest person in Egypt.
Yes. So also, if we talk about Egyptian women and how it also it was also one of the issues that that the president was concerned about, which is how to empower Egyptian women, improve her status, solve her problems. Now we can see her in key posts in ministries, in the government, in many places actually. So how do you see these efforts by the president?
Okay, this is a part of it. It's social system
Yes.
engineering, because when we're in the social act, we are always trying to defeat the poverty and defeat the illness and defeat the ignorance.
Yes.
And all those things, if we empower the woman, we can eliminate all those things from the social side, because it can stop the illness, it can stop the ignorance, and it's also it can stop the poverty. So this is the part. Another thing that I'm seeing, that we start to have a gender, because previously we might little bit more not doesn't have the gender, all the our laws and all those things that give a gender better authority and better right than the other gender. So I think that we are moving into the gender equality, and that's why the women start to empower, to have more shares in the political life, and even in the economical life. And most of all is the social life, because we find a lot of women, single moms, that they're taking care of their children and everything, and they don't have an income. And this is also coming with the decent life. There is a lot of project for those women. We teach them how to find a new job, or to how to make a product and to sell it locally and to get an income. And all those things are very important, because it's not only the women that have % of the population, but also it's raising the other 50% of the population.
Yes.
So it's very important to focus on it.
Also, the president was keen also to communicate with people with special abilities, and he met them in many conferences, and he was keen to find them suitable jobs, as well as they also maybe 10% of our
almost 12%
of our population, and this is a big number, of course. And of course, they were ignored for many years, and now we can see them taking a suitable place for them in the country. How do you see this?
I'm thinking, of course, we're talking about 12% of the population that has handicaps and that's people in need, and maybe our streets and our roads and our transportation are not welcoming them to go out of the home. It's not easy, and even it's not for human, for normal person to climb the trottoir and all those things. And I'm seeing that there is a lot of improvement, because they start to have some standards for the people in need, to help them and everything, and not only to facilitating their life. There's still a progress. We didn't see it yet long percent, but there is a progress. This file start to open, and whatever they're making any projects, they start, there is
to include some of those people.
Yes, this is a percentage by law, and also to have the facility of it. And more than this, the next step is to find them a job, to be them productive. And this is need to work to give them more, like we are giving such a good benefits for the investors. We can put them, if you hire handicaps, you get more taxes deduction, or this might be this might be on the agenda, I don't know.
Yes, and I think this is the case in all developed countries, that they pay good attention to people with special needs, and they provide them with jobs, right?
Yes, but let me tell you something, that Egypt, it's different a little bit, because the population is very big. We are talking about 100 million.
Okay, yes.
So 100 million is almost quarter the European population. It's almost 1/3 of the American population. So it's very big to do something very quickly. It needs some time, it needs a lot of resources.
It needs more planning.
The best things about our president, he has a vision, and we are always missing previously the vision. So putting this in the vision, it will happen, because if we return back from 7 years ago, what we are discussing now, it was impossible, but it's happening now on the ground. So if we are putting the handicaps and all people in need into practice, and to focus, like we focus about the youth and we focus about the women, it will work.
Also, Egypt is currently implementing a number of mega projects in different fields, many mega projects, infrastructure projects facilitating the movement of goods, tourists, and many other important projects that are important to the country and to the economy themselves. So what's your take on this?
I was always, when I was seeing 7 years ago, I was seeing, or 2000, when I was seeing the map of Egypt, we are seeing that we are only living on 7% of the map, which means that you are only using 7% of the facility and resources and everything. So it means that there is 93% that is not discovered. So in the first vision of 2030 is to have the spreading of the Egyptian population, and to have a lot of cities, and to have an interest and
Yes.
to attract them to come to live and to work and all those things. And we are, like I'm saying, we are working all in parallel. That soon, when they are going to integrate the
Yes.
new republic, you'll see all the new cities. It's not only the new capital of Egypt. We have Alamein, we have a lot of cities, smart cities, 4th-generation cities, which is, for us, it was dreams that to have such cities.
Yes,
in
actually, yesterday I've just heard that Fustat Garden is going to be developed. It's going to be one of the biggest gardens in the Middle East. And this is one of the recent projects that was announced this last week.
Yeah, I'm advising the audience to enter on the Egypt maps or Egypt projects maps. You will find all the maps or the project on the maps with GPS and with the progress, which is done and which is still in
Really?
progress,
It's
and
good
with the amount of
service.
money. This
Very
is
good
telling you,
service.
this is the trust. I'm telling you,
Yes.
that's building the trust. You go and see it. So this is the project in this location, and this is the purpose, the objective, and this is the amount and everything. So you see, all Egypt, they're working all in parallel. And even anyone, we are in Cairo, one is Alexandria, whatever, anyone is there is a
Yes.
project around him. You can see.
So, sir, also, if we talk about the second phase of the Decent Life Initiative, now the first phase witnessed the development of many, maybe 4,000 villages.
It's the first phase was almost 375 villages.
Yes.
And this is already done, but the whole project we're talking about 4,500
This is the whole
villages.
project.
Yes, it's not only villages, it's infrastructure. We're talking about 0.5%, 50%. The budget is 515 billion Egyptian pounds, but 50% of it is the infrastructure of the water and sewages, and then we have the schools, we have the building, the houses. We have it's all there's seven aspects.
Does it include building Egyptian character, developing people?
It's mainly, like you say, that the overall, like school and everything, but and maybe that we'll have this youth centers, which will happen about sport and so on. But building Egyptian character, I think that it's a big project because you need to enhance this.
To focus on it only.
Yes, but it's this is not only in the education and the TVs and the movies and all those things. It should be working in parallel. I think this is maybe the next phase, because we have this new map, which is 2052, and it might be included in this.
Not 2030.
2030 is almost finished. We are
Yes.
yeah, so it's 20.
So we have another plan for 2052.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is I believe this will be then, but in order to build the Egyptian character, you need to build the Egyptian environment for him, to have a good environment, everything, and then we start to.
We started.
Yes.
Already. So finally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Ahmed Salah Rifky, founder of Social System Engineering. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
And by that, viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Thank you for watching.